Good morning, all participants, and welcome to today's webinar, Make Your Money Work for You, exploring the journey of investment world through legal and financial lenses, hosted by Asian Law Student Association National Chapter, Thailand. Thank you everyone for joining us here today at our second webinar for ALSA Thailand Legal and Financial Series, The Wolf of Law Street. The Wolf of Law Street is a webinar-based series providing insightful events regarding the legal aspect in financial matters. Today's webinar is the second webinar of our series. I hope you all have a good morning or day, depending on where you are. My name is Piyachai Vichit Wongthong, and I will be your MC for today. Today's presentation will be separated into two main sessions with our honorable guest experts for each topic. Our first topic today is an cryptocurrency passive income experience sharing, and Mr. Warit Burakun will be our speaker. Mr. Warit Burakun is the president of IB Financial Advisory and Brook Digital Asset Division of the Brugger Group, and an affiliated member of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Before becoming the head of digital asset, he was an auditor who performed auditing procedures in accordance with US GAAP and IFRS. Followed by Ms. Tritip Paksuk, who will be talking about laws relating to conventional equity, securities, and digital assets. Ms. Tritip Paksuk is a senior associate at Baker & McKenzie. She specializes in financial service practice group. Ms. Tritip is also experienced in both private and public merger and acquisition transactions, corporate and foreign investment works. Participants, if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to type them into the chat box, and the speaker will answer them later during the Q&A session. There will also be e-certificate for all participants who fill in a Google form, which will be provided at the end of this webinar. If anyone is comfortable with turning on your camera, that would be highly appreciated. A live closed caption function is also available. So anyone who would like to see the caption during the presentation, feel free to turn on the live transcription function. As the webinar is about to begin, I would like to invite the President of ALSA Thailand National Board to give a welcome speech. Please welcome Mr. Nicholas Ranza.
Warren Buffett once said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you work until you die." Good morning from Thailand. I'm Nicholas Ranza, and it is my honor to be welcoming all of you to Make Your Money Work for You webinar. This is the second episode of The Wolf of Law Street, ALSA Thailand Legal and Financial Webinar Series. In case anyone who didn't attend the previous episode, let me shortly introduce you to Wolf of Law Street series. In the world where finance and law are both dominating field virtually in every aspect of human life, the Wolf of Law Street series introduces new aspects of the two. We here at ALSA Thailand recognize the importance of staying up to date and acknowledging new trends and development. The Wolf of Law Street series is currently a long-term project consisting of several episodes to respond to the growing demand in the current world. Thank you to all the participants. Your presence here today means a lot to us at ALSA Thailand. Thank you to our expert, Mr. Varit Burakun and Ms. Tritip Paksuk, who took time out of their busy schedule to educate and share experiences with all of us here today. Moreover, we are fortunate to have the support from Allen and Overy and Sombun Ritichai Panuwat Pasawan, SRPP, as our gold sponsor for the Wolf of Law Street series. Thank you. Finally, to my wonderful national board, this event would not be possible without your dedication. I sincerely hope you will enjoy and acquire new knowledge today. ALSA, always be one.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholas, for the wonderful speech. That was a very warm welcome for our participants. Participants, this event would not be possible without the honorable sponsor. We would like to extend our gratitude to the law firm Allen and Avery and Somboon Rittichai Panuwat Passawan for sponsoring the Wolf of Wall Street series. With their kind help, this series was made possible. We will now watch some videos from our esteemed guest sponsors. Welcome everyone once again. We will now officially begin our presentation. I would like to remind everyone once again that if you have any questions during the session, please type them into chat box and the speaker will answer them later at the end. Also, I would like to ensure that everyone has changed your Zoom name to your first name and keep your microphone muted to prevent any interruptions. It is now time to begin our first presentation on cryptocurrency passive income experience sharing. Please welcome Mr. Warit Burakul to come forward and begin the session.
ครับ Hello everyone สวัสดีครับ so uh, my name is Varit Bulakun. I'll be sharing screen which I cannot do yet. Can the team please help facilitate screen sharing?
Can you please try again right now?
Okay, thank you. Okay. So right now I'm working at the Brooker Group. So maybe I'll introduce myself a bit. I graduated from Lehigh University in the States with a double major in accounting and finance. And I got my master's degree from Boston College, also in accounting and finance. I took a few summer courses at Chulalongkorn University as well. Had a really great time. My first job was in accounting. I worked at Deloitte in Boston, one of the big four accounting firms. While I was there, I passed the CPA exams in the United States and became an affiliated member of the American Institute of the Certified Public Accountants, the CPA. And I also took the CFA exams and passed the exam and became the Chartered Financial Analyst. After my first career as an auditor in the States, I came back to Thailand to join the family business at the Brooker Group Public Company Limited. I'm currently the president of investment banking, financial advisory, and the newly launched digital asset division. Just a little bit about my company. It's the first listed company in the MAI exchange of Thailand. MAI is the market for alternative investment. Our core business is in financial advisory and investments. And we recently launched the digital asset division in March 2021, so just a few months ago. We are the first company in Thailand to invest in Bitcoin, and we are probably the first listed company in the world to invest in DeFi and DApp tokens. We convert nearly 50% of our total assets of the company into digital assets because we are certain that the decentralized blockchain technology is the future and that it will definitely change how the world operates, which I think the evidence are starting to show more and more now that financial institutions are joining the game, investing in the technology and do a lot of M&A deals. And as of now, we continue to look for like strategic partners in the digital asset area, and we do research regularly about the digital asset world. And okay, so today I will share a few tips with you all on crypto passive income. First of all, just wanted to say this is not like a formal financial advice. I do not have the license to give recommendation on passive investment. So please do your own additional research and consult people with proper license before you make any investment decisions. Thank you very much. And also, I assume everyone who's listening already have a little bit of background in crypto asset. So I might skip some or all of the Bitcoin blockchain talk, if that's okay. But feel free to ask questions if any of you need clarification, and maybe the team can inform me. Okay, so about the passive income, I think the biggest topic will be on decentralized finance or DeFi. So DeFi is basically us people trying to take away profits from the banks who are earning a lot of fees from commission, from exchanging money, from giving out loans. It's actually quite simple. So we created a system that anyone can use and anyone can earn fees from that. That's the concept of decentralized finance. As simple as that, bank borrows our money and put them to use to earn passive income. And that doesn't really sound fair. So people develop this concept and take back those profits and redistribute back to the people. There are three common functions in the DeFi ecosystem. So the first one is called staking. The second one is called lending. And the third one is liquidity pool. The first one, from a consumer perspective, is quite simple. So you deposit your money or your crypto tokens and you get some kind of interest in return, like when you put money into banks. The second one is lending. So instead of bank lending out money, any person in the world can lend out money to a stranger and earn income. And the third one is liquidity pool. This sounds a little bit more technical, but in reality, you're just becoming a money exchange company. So you have two currency and you offer exchange programs so people can swap one currency to another, and then you just charge fee for exchanging money. I will go through some examples so you understand the basic picture. But these are all passive income. Staking, you earn money without having to do anything. Lending, you put your money into a platform and the platform will automatically execute all the tasks for you. Liquidity pool as well. You deposit two types of currency and people exchange back and forth and you collect the fees. So there's no action required on your side, except providing the tokens. So an example of staking, this is just an example. So I picked this token called Cake. The full name is Pancake Swap Finance. Basically, they are decentralized application platform that offers a lot of services. One of the services is in coin staking. So if you have this Cake token, you can use smart contract in the platform to stake your coin. So deposit your coin to the platform. And once you do that, the coin will generate interest, daily payment, also compound for you. And you just sit there passively and wait for the Cake token to be paid out to you. And you can take out your coins at any time. The interest rate, like during the beginning of the year, during the DeFi hype, is over like 100%-ish. But now the rate of the interest rate has dropped to about 60 or 70%. And this income is still subject to market force and the coin value and other factors. But the 60 to 70% means if you put your Cake token into the staking deposit using smart contract, you will end up with 60% more Cake token in the next year. But if the Cake token value drops, then that's the risk that you have to understand before you put your money in. Okay, the second one is lending. This one is a little bit more straightforward. So basically, the example that I chose is called Compound. And there's also a Thai platform called JRepo. They launched a few months back. Basically, you have, let's say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or maybe stable coin like USDC or any other coins that you would like to lend out to strangers. So you deposit your coin into this platform, and this lending platform will automatically lend out money for you. They will charge a little bit of fee, but then you end up with your lending interest, which is passive income. And when you lend out money, you get digital asset token as collateral. For example, if you lend out USDC, someone might give you Bitcoin as collateral. So if the Bitcoin value drops to a certain extent, the smart contract will automatically liquidate the position of the borrower and return your principal back. So this process is, I think, very secure and proper, because smart contract is automated and there's no like legal issue with this process. If you borrow money from banks and the banks, let's say, take your assets such as land or car for collateral. When there's problem with the loan, it takes a lot of time and effort to get the money back. There's a long process of dispute. But with smart contract, the collateral is in Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoin, whatever. When there's any issue, the smart contract simply liquidates that position with no argument, no dispute, and then the lender gets their money back. So in this lending process, the risk is probably a little bit more higher than staking because there's more complexity, involves a little bit more steps. So usually the return is a little bit higher. Okay, the third one is called liquidity pool. So you can change this term in your mind into money exchange program. So you can understand it better, the concept. So these are some of the options that are available. These are like one of the bigger ones of liquidity pool application. One is called PancakeSwap, one is Uniswap, and one is SushiSwap. So they're all big enough to put money in and have people swap around your tokens, and you earn fee like 0.17 to 0.3, depending on which platform. And each platform uses different kinds of mechanism of token swap. So you have to study the project before you make any decision. Also, an important note, PancakeSwap operates under Binance chain, while Uniswap and SushiSwap operates under Ethereum chain. So they're different chain. When people want to swap currency, if they swap under Ethereum chain at the moment, the gas fee or the commission fee to use the platform is relatively more expensive. So the PancakeSwap fee is relatively cheaper because they operate under Binance chain. The liquidity pool is much harder to understand. You earn passive income from commission fee that you collect, but you also take a lot of risk because people are exchanging your currency. For example, if you have Bitcoin and Ethereum and you put that up for swapping option, the swapping price will change based on the demand and supply. And in the end, you might result in holding a lot of Bitcoin and much less amount of Ethereum when the market price of Ethereum like increases significantly. So you will end up with less of the coin that is more valuable and more of the coin that is less valuable. This is just the normal nature of the currency market. But in the real world, exchanging baht to USD to Singapore dollar to yuan, the currency doesn't fluctuate as much, and there are several ways to hedge the FX risk. But in the liquidity pool, you have to be quite expert to be able to understand how to hedge these currency risks. Or else you will just have to understand that when you put two currency for people to swap freely, you will most likely end up with currency that is less valuable, but in return you get your commission fee. So if you do this program for like a year and in the end the two currency value is relatively the same, so let's say like 1 to 10 Ethereum to Bitcoin, something like that, it doesn't change, then you're pretty much guaranteed, okay, maybe not guaranteed, but you're pretty much gonna end up with similar amount of your existing currency, and you will get the commission fee for the whole year, which in the past, I think it can be like 30-40%, but it can go up to like over 100%, depending on the market activity. The more people involved in the digital asset ecosystem, the more they want to swap currency around to speculate for better tokens, the more fee you will collect without having to even lift a finger, the platform will operate for you and do the money exchange for you, collect the fee for you, and put it in your digital wallet. So DeFi is pretty much three things to look into. Those are the three main topics: staking, lending, and liquidity pool. The next topic is on crypto mining. Again, I will go through very briefly because mining topic can probably be like explained like several hours if I want to go into like a lot of detail. But the basic understanding of crypto mining is any of us can buy a powerful computer and run some software to get to help verify transaction in the system, and in return you get the cryptocurrency token as reward. So there are many ways to do this mining. One system is called proof of stake, one is called proof of work, and one is called proof of authority. These are probably the main three types, and there are many other methods to do crypto mining as well, which I might not cover in the session. Proof of stake is probably the most simple one. So you don't really need a good computer, but you need like software that can run the program, and you need a lot of whatever token you want to do mining with, and you need to stake them. So when you stake tokens in a system, you are verifying yourself that you're trustworthy, because if you make mistake in the mining process, which essentially is verifying transaction for the system, you will be penalized, and the coin that you put to stake, you might lose them. So when you put like in the future, Ethereum will become proof of stake. So let's use that as an example. In the future, if you have like 10 Ethereum and you stake those Ethereum in the mining program, and then you run some kind of operating system to verify Ethereum transaction, you will get reward in Ethereum as your commission. But if you make mistakes, the 10 Ethereum that you stake, you might be penalized and lose those Ethereum. So the more you stake, the more credible you are, because you have more to lose. And the software, it doesn't require much computing power to run, because you already show credential, you already put in some stake to guarantee that you won't be doing things under bad faith, and you end up with coin commission in return. So that's the concept of proof of stake. It is much more environmentally friendly because it doesn't require supercomputing power like proof of work, which I will cover as the second topic. So the proof of work is probably the most popular method of crypto mining today. It's the first concept of crypto mining because Bitcoin uses the concept of proof of work. Proof of work simply means anyone, there's no need to stake any coin, can buy a supercomputer and help verify transaction and get coin commission as return. In this case, people who mine Bitcoin help verify Bitcoin transaction, meaning when people buy and sell and transfer coin, you have verified this transaction and you get Bitcoin in return as your commission fee. So this industry is probably over several $1 billion already. There's a lot of listed company doing crypto mining as well. And they need like a supercomputer, I'm talking about like 400,000 to 500,000 baht per machine to do mining. And the computer must have like a super high computing power, and technology is changing every day. So you also have the risk of computer becoming obsolete, but you get your passive income from running the software, which is automated. So anyone in the world who have this computer can just plug in the computer and run the basic software, and it operates on its own. help facilitate and verify transaction on its own, and will give you your coin income every day. The proof of work is under a lot of regulatory pressure because it uses a lot of energy power. So at this moment, we're at the stage that a lot of crypto miners are trying to switch to more clean energy, more renewable energy, to be more environmentally friendly. But this is still a big problem. So the proof of stake concept is becoming more and more popular. And Ethereum, the second largest token in the world, also agrees with the proof of stake concept. They are currently operating under proof of work concept, and they will try to change to proof of stake within the next few months. They're still working on it, and the timeline is probably 6 to 8 months from now. The third one is called proof of authority. This is much harder for us to get a foot into because the project owner, like the Cup chain, they selected a few partners who seems credible, and they give them the power to help verify transaction. So these people are earning passive income from operating the verification software. And this is similar to proof of stake, but the project owner are selecting these crypto miners instead of the proof of stake concept where any person in the world can participate if they stake in their tokens. The advantage of proof of authority is that it's much quicker, and you can choose the right partners who might also have other strategic value, but this is less relevant to normal people. There's also concept of proof of time, proof of several other methods, but I will not be covering those topics. But I'm sure that you can do independent research to find out more about these passive income in the mining field. The main one today is still proof of work, and the main coin to mine is Bitcoin because it's the largest, and the machine is been in the market for several years now, so there's good track record. But again, you have to do your own research and put in more time to understand how it works. The machine is very expensive, and you have to understand the mechanism, the electricity power, and the coins that you get, and the number of coins that you get each day is which is likely decreasing, because the more people mining, the less coin you will end up having, because the number of transaction is fixed, the number of coin reward is fixed, but the number of machine mining the coin increases every day, every second actually. So you have to understand that the coin that you are mining today, you will get less and less and less every day. Much more complex than DeFi. DeFi, you just need a wallet and a normal computer and just put your money to work. The mining, you actually need technical understanding, and you need actual operation because you have to buy a computer. Okay, the third, NFT. This is for artists mainly, and for gaming. NFT are just digital arts, but people can earn passive income from NFT, anyone. Simply, you can create an art piece, and if this art piece is highly demanded by the community will trade the NFT back and forth, and you can get royalty fee up to 10% on the trading NFT. This is a very big deal for artists because there's a lot of the second-hand market size is very large, and this method guarantees that the original creators will get their royalty fee income. And this doesn't apply to just picture. NFT can be pegged to a movie, to a sound clip, to anything actually, using smart contract. This concept is probably not relevant to people who want to invest, but have no creativity side to create their own NFT artwork. Because if you buy and sell NFT, you're not getting your passive income. You're just speculating on the value of the art piece or the game items that you are buying. Okay. But in the same topic, if you buy an NFT game item, this is still very new, so you definitely need to do more research on this. If you buy a game item or a game character, there's an application called Axie Infinity, which you can simply put these NFT creatures into the game and play the game for a few hours, and you will get rewards in the form of their special cryptocurrency, crypto tokens, which you can sell in the market. So this concept, you buy some NFT designed for gaming, you play the game and you get some tokens from the game, which you can sell in the crypto market exchange. It is somewhat passive income because you are playing game and you get money, but you actually have to play the game for a few hours every day to earn the income. So it requires a little bit more effort. But for kids and younger generation, I think they're happy to play the game and they're earning a lot of money from playing the game. So that's another form of business model called play to earn. In the past, people who tried this, they get their investment back. You know, the money that they used to buy these creatures, the NFT game characters, they get their investment back in like 4 or 5 months, 6 months. So if the timing is right and the game becomes very popular, then you can earn a lot of passive income from doing this activity. But at this time, this Axie Infinity token is very, very expensive. So do a little bit of research. Actually do a lot of research before you decide what to do. Yeah, this is the play to earn. There are many games like Axie Infinity. New games are coming out. And this also links to the concept of the next topic, metaverse. The metaverse is something that Facebook is trying to pursue. They just announced a new. It's pretty much like when you play The Sim, but under blockchain system. So all the items that you have, you can sell in the market and everything is connected to the blockchain. So it's probably linked with the NFT technology. With regards to the passive income in the metaverse, there are already two platforms that's quite popular. One is called Decentraland and one is called The Sandbox. And both of these platforms, there are some entrepreneurs who buy land in this metaverse, which has a fixed amount, and the land price increases a lot. That's speculative income, not passive income. But these lands that a lot of the entrepreneurs, investors buy, they rent out the land to other investor, other people, and people who rent the land, they build stuff to promote their company. So for example, company A can rent land in the metaverse of Decentraland and create a billboard showing their logo. So they don't have to buy the land themselves, which is quite expensive. They just pay rent. And that's the initial concept that the metaverse passive income is today, but it's still very, very, very small. So this might not be a viable option for many of you. But in the future, I think this will become big. Like in Thailand, there are many companies doing media, digital agency. So like all the sign in the cities, they get a lot of fee from advertisement. It will be the same in the metaverse because the number of land is limited and more people are engaging in this metaverse universe. So maybe you can pay some attention to this metaverse world. It might become like very huge in the next few years, and there will be a lot of potential to earn passive income. Okay, other passive income opportunity. exchange marketing campaign. So Binance and SIPMEX and a few other exchange, they offer a lot of incentive to use their platform and trade under their platform. So if you buy tokens like the SIPMEX token or the BNB token, you can stake them in the application. This is not the same as the staking in decentralized finance because Binance and SIPMEX are both centralized exchange, but they pay you the coin. So it's the same process. You get your coin dividend like staking, but this operates under a centralized exchange. So you probably feel more comfortable doing these transactions because you know your counterparty, and if something goes wrong, you know who to sue. Apart from just normal interaction with exchange, they also do a lot of marketing campaigns. So sometimes you can stake Bitcoin and get like high interest return. Sometimes you get special quota to participate in ICO programs, so initial coin offerings, which usually which are usually very profitable investment during this time in the bull market. And another concept that is quite new for the Thai community is airdrop concept, follow to earn. So you follow new projects, you help promote the new project. So you are becoming an influencer essentially, and you get rewarded with the coin that you're promoting. So there are many campaigns in the world that's trying to do marketing to increase awareness. One of the coin listed in SIPMEX called AFIN coin. They also do this program in the CoinMarketCap website. So help promote and follow, and you might earn like a few of these AFIN coin. I looked at the price and the coins received. I think you can get like 3,000-4,000 baht from just following and promoting this token. But again, this is subject to chance as well for some program. For example, like the project might say only 5,000 lucky winner will get the coin. But for some other project, everyone who helped spread awareness will also get reward with the coins, but the reward is probably less in value. Okay, I think this is the last topic I will cover for the passive income. Crypto arbitrage strategy. Well, this requires a lot more skill and understanding of the crypto market, and probably good AI software, a bot. So there's a lot of inefficiency in the crypto market space. The exchange, the centralized exchange, the price difference can happen at any time, and probably it's happening like as we're speaking. So a good computing system can find these inefficiency and trade between exchanges to take away the difference, the spread. And this process happens 24 hours. So people with very powerful computing system can capitalize on these inefficiency and earn passive income through running computer bots. But this is like a very advanced stuff, and you need like a good tech team, and you need to run the correct program to capture these inefficiencies. And this is probably something that is very far away from what we can do. Okay, I think this concludes my presentation on the passive income side of the crypto world. Again, there's a lot of risks involved in this activity. And when you get passive income in the form of cryptocurrency, you also have to understand that you're getting paid in cryptocurrency. So if the coin value drops, then you also lose both your income and your principal investment, which can be very significant. Back in 2017, 2018, Bitcoin value drops from like 20,000 USD to 3,000 USD. So if you put your money in, then you probably lose like more than half of your asset within like 1 or 2 months. And that's probably a very, very high risk. To avoid that, you can invest in stable coin, which are pegged to real currency. But you should also understand that when you do that, the level of risk is much lower. So the expected passive income that you get is probably lower as well. Okay. All right, that concludes my presentation on passive income. It's a lot of content, so I hope you do more research on this. It's a very exciting time, and I'm sure the ecosystem will continue to grow.
Well, that wraps up our first topic. Thank you, Mr. Warit Burakun, so much for the presentation. It has really helped us to have more insight into the cryptocurrency as passive income, and for sharing your interesting background on it. At this point, I believe that there might be some participants who are curious to know more about the tips on investment. However, in this session, there will be 10 minutes for Kun Warit to share the tips on the investment, and another 10 minutes will be reserved for the Q&A. So let me remind everyone once again that if you have any question, feel free to type them into the chat box. Now I will let Mr. Warit Burakun continue the session with the tips on the investment.
Okay, so do more research. So in this crypto world, I think the trend is moving really fast. For example, the play to earn concept, once it becomes popular, a lot of people try to purchase all these like Axie character, the NFT characters. So the price of these Axie goes up like 10 times, making the investment return much longer and the risk much higher. Another thing to be aware of is not just about the risk of the investment itself, but the risk of the whole ecosystem as well. For example, when you set up your digital wallet, you need to make sure that it's secure and you don't share your seed phrase to anyone. And the computer that you operate your digital wallet and the phone that you use, just have to make sure that you don't have like spyware, or you don't click on random links and your information gets leaked out, because a digital wallet is very easy to hack. If people with bad intention have access to your wallet, they can transfer out all the tokens from your wallet, and there's probably no chance at all of getting those coins back, because the system runs under a blockchain system. Once it's verified, then it's gone. It's probably more safe to look for opportunities inside a centralized exchange system, because when there's some kind of problem, the exchange security is quite extensive, especially in Thailand. The Thai SEC regulates the exchanges, so they probably need to show evidence that they have good security system before they can get approval of the license. And if there's any problem, you know who you can sue, because the entity is clear. When you operate in the decentralized world, when you do coin staking, do lending, do liquidity swap, the smart contract itself should be proven enough to be safe, but the platform that you operate on, for example, Uniswap, PancakeSwap, these platforms, if there's some kind of error in the platform, you're also susceptible to the risk of the platform operating with error. In the past, there are several cases of this flash loan attack, meaning the coding and the security system is not 100% foolproof. So really smart hackers with supercomputer design a coding system, a smart contract to attack these platforms, doing flash loan, meaning combining like 50 transactions together, buy and sell and borrow, to manipulate the token price and extract out all the token at a very cheap price when the market price is really high. So these attacks can cause damage to the platform in like millions, or even like 10 million, $100 million, which can be very significant. and you can lose your token from those attacks. This is mainly applied to the liquidity pools, the money exchange, because the exchange price is a formula, and flash loan can definitely be designed to manipulate the movement of the price to make it cheap for just split second, and use another transaction to buy all the coins at that price. It's very complex, but it's the risk that already happened to some of the few platforms that are not strong, platforms that are new, who are trying to operate in the decentralized space. Another tips and tricks, I would say having the quota to subscribe for ICO coin is very, very important, because in the bull market, which is during this period, all the new projects are getting a lot of multiple valuation hype, meaning a coin that gets listed for like $1, the price can jump to like $10 or even $50, $80 in one day. So the return that you get from subscribing can be quite massive. And to be able to be qualified for these projects, usually you need to take some kind of action. For example, operate in certain exchange and buy their native token and stake them or keep them somewhere. So that's usually a marketing campaign for these exchanges to secure their user and to make their users happy. If you are less you have less risk tolerant, again, the stable coin strategy as of now can still get a lot of passive income. The easiest way is to put it in a centralized exchange, because it's very simple and your wallet is in the exchange, so it's quite easy to understand. But if you go outside the centralized exchange, you can also use stablecoin to do lending, to do staking, to do like liquidity management. When you put two types of stablecoin in a liquidity pool, you don't really have the exchange risk, because both are pegged to like a digital, like a real USD dollar, but you still get your commission fee. So if you do it at the right timing and maybe in a new system, for example, there's another chain called Avalanche. They also have the DeFi program, and the yield is higher than in Ethereum and Binance because it's new and they want to attract more users. So if you think that the system is safe enough and that you think that the application, the DeFi app is safe enough, you can put your money in and earn relatively higher passive income with your stable coin. Under SIPMEX, I think the rate is like 11%, 12% per year with daily interest payment, which is already much higher than money deposit into banks. But then this campaign might not last long. It's a marketing campaign for the exchange, and you still have to take the risk that, okay, SIPMEX is a big exchange. Will they be able to pay the interest? Will they be able to secure your tokens? You think that they're capable of these tasks, then those are the big risks. But outside, you have to manage your own digital wallet. If you mess up and lose your password or something happens, then you might lose your investment. The DeFi space, just to give you a broad perspective, the size is several $billion. Maybe this will give you a little bit of comfort that this is not a new thing. So probably over like several $1 billion are being put into the DeFi to earn yield at the moment, and it's growing every day. Number of users are growing every day. So this is not like a experimental phase testing. This has actually been happening for quite some time now, and big institution and entrepreneur with huge wallet size are participating in these programs. There are even funds in Singapore or Hong Kong doing DeFi activities to earn passive yield and managing the risk at the same time. So it's probably the tips and tricks for a basic investment. If you are risk averse, then just stick with a stable coin for now.
Thank you, Mr. Varit, once again for the tips that you have shared. They are very beneficial, and I believe that our participant could utilize the tip in their investment. So participant, one important key takeaway, do research before investing your money, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now, yeah, exactly. Now I will read some questions that were sent to us during the presentation. So let's start with the first question. Are there any recommendation on materials that like the newbies can study for the passive income investment by cryptocurrency, like any books, website? And in your opinion, like how should the newbie study further into this matter?
So I did another presentation in other sessions, and I also gave, I also have an online class in the skilllane.com website. It's free learning for basic understanding of crypto. And in the session, I mentioned a few methods to do research and to follow the news. Well, first of all, you have to follow the actual website of the token you're interested, because that's where all the activities are happening. And second of all, there are social media like Twitter, Telegram, Discord. These are the main communication method for most crypto projects. And the third is you can look for crypto bloggers who are famous. And Elon Musk is one of the person who seems to have influence in the crypto market for meme coin. Vitalik is the founder of Ethereum. So he posts a lot of stuff about Ethereum as well. And for Binance, the CEO is CZ. So he also posts a lot of interesting content. You can also look into our own social media broker group, digital asset division. So we try to share a lot of interesting content in our Facebook and Instagram, and we'll soon establish a Telegram group and Discord and Medium as well. We also post our education content in our website. So we have education presentation on NFT, decentralized finance, digital wallet, and just basic understanding of digital asset. We also attach some reference on the general education of crypto education, which we mainly refer to the Binance Academy program. Binance is the largest exchange in the world with a significant market share over competitors. So they invested a lot in the education program. I think some of the education also have Thai language, but I'm not sure if they remove that out or not due to regulatory requirements. Okay, the last one is probably the regulators' social media website, that they also share crypto knowledge content. And especially the Thai SEC, they do like a weekly stats of crypto user and popular coins. They also do like knowledge sharing of crypto regulation and definition. So you can also read more about crypto regulation side and the general statistics of Thailand in through the SEC website and Facebook. Oh, and one more thing, all the activities are happening in the blockchain. So you can also look into websites that are analyzing the things that are happening in the blockchain, like number of user in the blockchain, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Binance, number of activity, trading volumes. So these are all like public information that anyone can analyze in the blockchain system. I think I gave some reference link in my presentation in the website, so you can also take a look at that.
Thank you, Mr. Farid, for so much for the answer. And for the next question, can you share Bruker process in transitioning into digital asset? Why now? And what are the obstacles in transitioning? And also your thought on the current market state of cryptocurrency.
So that's a few questions. Okay, so I'll go one by one. So the way we transition into digital asset. So basically, during the end of 2020, we think that financial institutions are now accepting crypto. The number of users increased significantly, and the concept of decentralized finance is coming, and there are more real use case, which I think the general public will definitely adopt and use in the future. So as a company, we decided to expose ourselves a digital asset, which we believe is the best sector to get exposure in. And it took a few months to go through all the internal controls and understanding of the ecosystem and account setup and consultation with regulatory side. But we were able to convert a lot of our assets into digital asset. As we disclosed to the public, we converted nearly 50% of our total asset into digital asset tokens. And from that point on, we didn't stop there. The investment is just managing our surplus liquidity in our balance sheet. But we see that this is the future trend, this is the future technology. So we also participate in new projects, invest in these projects that we think will be adopted by a lot of users. We also participated in education program to raise awareness of this potential of the crypto technology, so that the younger generation can have a one-stop shop understanding of the whole picture. Because when I look at a lot of the contents, they are very, very focused on certain things like Bitcoin price or Bitcoin technology, and not so much about the perspective to look at digital asset. So we created content for people who are interested in the field, but not just the technical side, but just the overall understanding of digital asset. In the future, we definitely will have more exposure in digital asset side. We also plan to include in our financial advisory side, the digital asset integration, digital asset knowledge. We will not be doing like a buy and sell recommendation though, because that's the task for like a broker or licensed analyst to write like valuation report and stuff. We think that this crypto world is still growing massively, with evidence in increased adoption, increased trading volume, increased usage, and the even biggest company like Facebook are trying to tap into this field with their metaverse world. So now is the best time, and in the future, I think it will be like an S-curve explosion of mass adoption, because the network effect doesn't go as 1 + 1 = 2, but it goes as 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 × 2 = 4, and 4 squared becomes 16 and becomes like 1 million in like 1 month. That's how powerful the network effect is. Obstacle, I mean, there's not much obstacle. You just have to understand that some transaction you need regulatory requirement, and that's just the normal process. You just have to time your transaction properly, and we believe that the regulation in Thailand and globally will be more crypto friendly, which is a very good thing, because a lot of users are still afraid to invest in crypto because they don't see regulation covering their downside risk yet. But now the regulators are focusing on creating a proper environment to invest in crypto asset. I think this will be this will definitely quicken the mass adoption period, to a much faster pace. Now that we see big companies in Thailand pursuing this digital asset field as well, then I think the regulation side will definitely be relatively faster than expected.
Thank you, Mr. Varit, once again for the answer. Participants, we sincerely apologize. Due to the time constraint, we may not be able to answer all of the questions. So this is going to be the last question. Is there any recommendation about the career path for law students who are interested in crypto and DeFi area?
Regulatory side is definitely big. A lot of exchanges are trying to go regional scale, global scale. So understanding the potential conflict and how to manage these conflict properly will definitely give a lot of competitive advantage. There's also a lot of projects trying to do coin offering, which in the future will be subject to regulation. For example, asset token launched by the Xpring Group definitely require a lot of legal due diligence because we are applying new technology to the existing business structure. It used to be property fund and REITs, and now we're moving on to asset tokens. So this is actually a very good thing for young lawyers because the game has been reset. If you understand the new law faster, then you're in a better position. And there's definitely a lot of demand for lawyers with good understanding in digital asset, because to be able to do the legal due diligence, you probably need to understand what it is as well. We actually have this problem in the past when we work with a financial advisor, but in the end they need to resign themselves because they feel they're not qualified to comment on digital asset as the technology is still very new and they still need to do more research and understanding of digital asset, which we cannot really blame anyone. The technology is very new and it takes time to understand the digital asset ecosystem and its application. So the best way to understand them is to study them from many sources of information and perhaps experiment yourself. Try to invest a little bit of your money, or just look at a YouTube video of people who invest in these things and just follow them. So you understand not just the technology, but the psychology side as well of why people buy and sell and what types of investment they make. I think it's very important for you, for all the young lawyers to understand this. It will be more and more integrated with the financial sector. So there's probably going to be a lot more deals in the digital asset sector that requires legal knowledge, both locally and regional and global scale.
Thank you so much, Mr. Varit, for the answer. That was a very insightful answer. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Varit to give us a final remark before ending of the first session. Mr. Varit, please go ahead.
Okay, Kap. So back to the same comment. Do your own research and do a lot of research. And there are many ways to lower the level of risk in this ecosystem. So you have to do your own evaluation and see like which method is best fits with your risk tolerance. There are many ways to earn passive income in the crypto field, and because the market is growing quite fast, the return is relatively much higher than the traditional world. And given there are several ways to access this investment channel, I think it's worth spending time to understand what it is, so that you can put your money to best use in a risk control environment. and you need to follow like updates every day on the crypto world because the trend is changing very fast. And if you miss out on like major updates, you might be faced with big problems with your investment. For example, if you mine Ethereum using supercomputer today, and in the 6 months, the concept changed to proof stake. If you don't follow the news, then your investment might go through some rough patch, and you might not have enough time to handle the investment adjustment.
Thank you, Mr. Varit Burakun, for your final remark. We very appreciate your time to provide us with this outstanding session. It was a very interesting topic packed with useful knowledge and information. We do apologize for any inconvenience that may have occurred, but if anyone would like to ask further questions, feel free to contact Mr. Varit in the contact provided in the chat box. Moreover, if anyone is interested in getting to know more about our webinar series, you can access our website, which will be provided into the chat box as well. There will also be QR code on the slide that you can scan. We will now have a break for 10 minutes, but please stay in the meeting, but feel free to turn off cameras and microphones. After the break, there will be another presentation by Mrs. Tritip on the topic of laws relating to conventional equity, securities, and digital assets. And we will see each other again at 10:55.
set me up with her. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, let's get lost right here. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, under the chandelier. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, don't turn me down for him. What does he have that I can't give to you, girl? I can't understand this. This guy's just a douchebag. I'm so disappointed in myself. The look on her faces, I hope we go places. I'm left all alone. Should have stayed at home and searched how to date on Chrome. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, let's get lost right here. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, under the chandelier. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, don't turn me down for him. What does he have that I can't give to you, girl? I'm sitting alone. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, let's get lost right here. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, under the chandelier. Dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby, what does he have that I don't? I could give the world to you if you turn him down for me. Don't you cry, I'll stay with you till the morning light. 'Cause girl, you know I'm just that kind of guy. And I hope that it's true. Baby, I can kiss you back.
Welcome back, all the participants. I hope you now fresh and ready for the next presentation. Once again, let me remind you, if you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the chat box. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming our next speaker for laws relating to conventional equity, securities, and digital assets, Mrs. Tritip Paksuk.
Hi everyone. I'm Tritip Paksuk. Let me share the screen first before we begin. 1 second. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
Okay. Okay. My name is Tritip Paksuk. I'm from Baker McKenzie Bangkok office, Financial Services Department, Capital Market Team. The topic I'm covering today is law relating to conventional securities and digital asset. So let's go. Let's start with the basic first. Conventional equity securities versus digital asset. What is equity securities? Equity securities are issued by a company in order to raise capital. A holder of equity securities, for example, shares, will represent an ownership's interest in the issuing company, as well as claim as part of the company asset and earnings. Certain types of equities will also entitle holder to vote and participate in decision-making process of the entities. Shareholders will also have opportunities to receive dividends. However, as you know, the company issuing equity securities is not obligated to pay dividend. It depends on the company profitability as well as other factors. So if you look on the left side, the conventional world of equity securities includes common shares, preferred shares, warrants, unit trusts. So common shares, as you know, represent ownerships in the company, and the holder of common shares can vote in proportions to the shareholding and entitled to dividends and capital gains, as well as subscription right to purchase additional securities when the company launch a rights offering scheme. So preferred shares is like, common shares. It's an equity instrument by which holder is also owns parts of a company, but the holder of preferred shares have preferential rights depending on terms and conditions of the preferred shares. For example, the preferred shares might have priorities over common shares in terms of dividends, or in case of company insolvency, the holders of preferred shares might be entitled to the payoff from the company fund before the payment to the common shareholders. But note that the preferred shares normally have priority lower than corporate bonds holder or debentures holder or other fixed income securities. So now warrants. Warrant is also an equity instrument that gives the holders a right to purchase shares at an exercise price in certain quantity depending on set ratio and predetermined timeline. Unit trust, there are several types of unit trust. It could be real estate unit trust or REIT, or an infrastructure unit trust. These unit trusts are basically a form of collective investment where the holders of unit will enjoy an income from a portfolio generated by real estate for REIT or generated by infrastructure project for infrastructure trust unit. And unit of mutual fund are basically similar to the unit trust, but the fund will invest in financial markets product, and the holder will participate and enjoy profit deriving from such investment. There's also NVDR. NVDR is an equity instrument representing shares in a Thai listed company. NVDR allow foreign investor to enjoy benefit in Thai listed company, but NVDR holder will not have voting right within the company.
Excuse Ms. Trithip, I think you forget to change the slide.
Okay. So can you see the conventional world and digital world slides?
Yes, we can see it now. Thank you so much.
Also, can you see it in like full screen or just like the PowerPoint one?
We can see in the PowerPoint one.
Oh, okay, let me fix that one second. Can you see the full screen now?
Yes, now we can see the full screen. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tritip.
Okay. Okay. So now moving on to the digital asset part. Digital asset from Thai law perspectives include cryptocurrency, investment token, utility tokens, which we will explore in more detail, as well as NFT or non-fungible tokens. Investing in digital asset is becoming a huge trend, not only for institutional and corporate investor, but also young investor like you guys. So, but did you know that actually investing in digital asset goes beyond investing in cryptocurrency? There are also, like in Thai market, one equally interesting channel is, other types of digital asset, investment token or utilities token, which I will discuss more. But for the moment, let me talk briefly about NFT first. NFT are slightly different from cryptocurrency. Legally speaking, it's very recent, and because of its recent appearance of NFT, the legal framework is largely unclear. So now, what is NFT? An NFT is a digital asset that represent an ownership while distributed ledgers, and as Kunwari said, it's representing artworks or underlying digital assets such as image, videos, or digital contents, or physical assets such as painting. But legally speaking, it's not a transfer of copyright unless agreed otherwise in the terms and conditions of the NFT. And purchase NFT is not the same as purchasing a copyright of the artwork itself. So early this year, the Thai SEC actually prohibit digital asset exchange in the country from providing services to NFT, or basically allowing an NFT to be listed on digital asset exchange in Thailand, alongside with other memes and fan-based token. So this is the current regulatory regimes at the moment, but I've seen that the SEC is more welcoming in NFT in the future, but for now, NFT will not be able to list on the digital asset exchange in Thailand. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, so before we go into laws, let's look at key regulated players in both conventional securities and digital assets. For conventional securities, it includes investment advisor, securities underwriters, financial advisor, security brokers, security dealers, mutual fund manager, private fund manager. For digital asset side, we have the similar key player, digital asset investment advisor, digital exchange, digital broker, digital dealer, digital asset custodian, digital asset fund manager. But let me explain about the new unfamiliar names for the digital world. So who is ICO Portals? An ICO portal is a provider of an electronic system for facilitating the offering of the newly issued digital token in Thailand. The ICO portal duties basically performing due diligence on the digital token to be offered, as well as qualifications of the issuer. To ensure that, information disclosed in the prospectus or the white paper are accurate and not misleading. So digital asset custodian wallet provider is actually a person who provides a custodial wallet service by managing cryptographic key with power to access customer digital asset in the normal course of business in exchange for fee. So basically they will hold one key to your digital wallet. Okay, so now we're moving into law relating to digital asset. Thailand is actually the first jurisdiction in Asia that issue legislation specifically address cryptocurrency and digital asset. The starting point of understanding digital asset regulation in Thailand is actually the emergency decree on the digital asset business, or in short, digital asset decree. The digital asset decree actually specify in Thai law a new type of asset, or basically digital asset, to be regulated under Thai law. Since it's effective of these legislations in 2018, any business operator who wish to conduct business or any activity regarding digital asset must take this law into account. Okay, because of this law to determine whether a digital instrument would fall within the definition of digital asset under Thai law, you must review digital asset decree as well as other existing law, including Securities and Exchange Act, e-money, the Payment System Act, as well as Derivative Act. Certain type of instrument, or asset that utilize technologies or digital element such as security will fall within the definitions of Security and Exchange Act. E-money will be under the Payment System Act, and option instrument will be under the Derivative Act as well. So So basically, if the substance of the instrument is actually securities, it will be regulated by its core characteristic. Basically, it will be regulated under the Securities and Exchange Act. Okay, some type of instrument or asset that have characteristics that fall within the definition of this digital asset will also be regulated under the digital asset decree as well. Okay, under Thai law, under the digital asset decree or Thai law, so there are basically only two types of digital asset: cryptocurrency and digital token. From Thai law perspective, cryptocurrency are defined as electronic data unit created on electronic system or network, being a medium for exchanging goods, services, and rights to or rights to the digital asset. While security, while digital token is also electronic data unit, but the difference is it's an electronic data which indicate right as an investor of certain project or right to receive specific goods or services as agreed in the white paper or in the prospectus. For cryptocurrency, the Thai SEC actually issue a list of approved cryptocurrency. If digital token issuer or digital asset business operator in Thailand wishes to receive cryptocurrency as a consideration for the transactions. Such cryptocurrency must be those listed by the Thai SEC, and that also must be obtained from a sale, exchange, or deposit with an approved digital asset business operator by the SEC. Digital asset exchange are only allowed to trade or exchange digital asset for Thai baht or the cryptocurrency listed by the SEC as well. For now, I think as of May 2021, the approved cryptocurrency are Bitcoin, Ether, Ripples, and Stellar. I think the SEC update lists from time to time. However, even these approved lists of cryptocurrency should not be perceived as certifications of their legal tender status, meaning the payment by cryptocurrency should be viewed as a payment in kind rather than payment of money from legal perspective. Okay, I discussed briefly about the key difference between cryptocurrency as a medium of exchange, whereas on the other hand, the digital token is actually a unit of data which specify right as an investor or right to receive specific goods or services. Okay, but there might be some cryptocurrency that have features as digital token as well. For example, if the cryptocurrency also specify right of the investor to participate or to enjoy incomes from projects or business, or also specified right to specific good or services, that cryptocurrency would fall within the scope of digital token as well, and will be the issue of such cryptocurrency with digital token feature will be regulated by the offering requirement, which I will discuss further. Okay, so when it's come to investing in cryptocurrency and digital token, I'm not an investment advisor or investment expert, but comparing digital token and cryptocurrency, I'd say investing in coins or cryptocurrency is similar to trading of the conventional currency, meaning that the price fluctuates according to supply and demand, as well as volatilities in the crypto market. And there's also many other factors that affect value of the currency as well. Why investing in digital token can be compared to investing in certain types of securities, for example, REITs, where the digital token holder receives return of revenue shares based on the project or income generated by the project. Okay, also the token holders can also trade on the secondary market as well. So that's secondary market for investment token and utilities token as well. Okay. Okay, so the digital asset decree, there are two main regulated activities. The first one is the offering of digital token to the public. And the second part is the operations of digital asset business, which I will not talk about the second part. Let's look at the first part. The offering of digital token is basically to raise funds from the public, and the investor will then have or hold the such digital token. To offer regulated digital token to the public, Issuer of the digital token must have specific qualifications and obtain approval from the Thai SEC, as well as filing of the registration statement and white paper of such digital token. The offering must also be done through an approved ICO portal. So now what is regulated digital token? Investment token and utilities token that the underlying product or services are not ready to use at the time of the offering, or the cryptocurrency that has objective of raising funds from the public. So while utility token that the underlying product or asset are ready to use, it's not regulated by this offering requirement and will be exempt from the offering requirement. There are also, exception to the offering requirement as well. For example, the issuing and offering to limited investor, for example. Okay, let me tell you briefly about difference between investment token and utility token from Thai law perspective. Basically, investment token is, the investor will have right to participate in a project or business specified in the white paper, whereas the holder of the utility token will have the right to receive specific goods or services. For example, if they're building a big restaurant, or if they're building a big restaurant, and in the white paper they say that the investor or the holder of the utility token will have 10 times, it will be entitled to 10 times of that of the meals or lunch, for example. That's utility token. But because the restaurant itself is not ready to open for service or business at the moment that this token is offered, it will then be regulated under the digital asset decree, and to follow the requirement in relations to the offering of the regulated digital token. Okay, so when we're now talking about the initial coin offering requirement, or in order to raise fund and issue digital token in Thailand. So basically, the issuer must be a company established in Thailand, and the directors, the issue directors and person with management power must not have any prohibited characteristic. The company intending to do the digital token offering does not have to be in the technology industry or apply blockchain technology to its business. However, it must have fundamentally a business plan to raise funds by issuing digital token, and it must have audited financial statement in compliance with a Thai financial reporting standard by an auditor recognized by the Thai SEC. And the company will also be obliged to disclose its ongoing project or business performance, as well as financial statement in accordance to the regulations. I talked briefly about ICO portal. As I said, the main responsibilities of the ICO portal is to conduct due diligence on the business plan, as well as the features of the digital token to be offered as well. And also, to prepare the white paper or the prospectus of the digital token to ensure that all information necessary for the investor to know are in there and not misleading. Okay, but because this is a new type of investment. So actually, there's also regulations about the eligible investor for the digital token as well. For institutional, ultra high net worth, private equity, venture capital investor can invest on the digital token with no limitation. However, for retail investor, the Thai SEC has investment limit of 300,000 baht per person per round of investment. So in other words, for general investor or retail investor, can only invest up to 300,000 in one digital token offering, but they are free to invest in another digital token offering of 300,000 baht. And there are also limit in terms of issuer. The offering limit for retail investor in each round of offering for the issuer is actually capped by the high of 4 times of the issuer equity value or 70% of the total offering size. The issuer may be, issue the digital token to raise fund in form of Thai baht or the approved cryptocurrency, as I discussed earlier. So in the regulation, there are also special requirement for asset-backed or real estate-backed investment token as well. This is actually additional protection for the investor because the Thai SEC perceive real estate-backed investment token in Thailand as to be the same as REIT. So the issue. So that the issue additional requirements just to make sure that the investor have the same protections. The first requirement is that the real estate must be complete, the construction must be complete, and the property itself must be ready to use and must not have any property right or dispute to be able to tokenize such property or to issue digital token based on this property. The investment value of the property must not be less than 80% of the project offering size, and the value of the asset must not be less than 5 million baht. There must also be true appraisal report, and the appraisal must be done by the appraiser approved by the SEC as well. There's also legal formalities for the contract where the contract that the issuer will acquire the property must not contain any agreement or obligation that prevent the sale of the real estate at a fair price. There's also another protections whereby the property or the right to the property must be transferred and held on trust by the trustee. There's also a requirement of establishment of trust. So the trust for real estate-backed token, the trust must hold either the ownership of the property itself or the leasehold right or the investment in the leasehold right, or the trust must hold the shares of the company that hold ownership in the property. And when I talk about the trustee will be someone who obtain a license from the SEC to be the trustee for the real estate-backed token ICO as well. So this is the example or use case of the real estate-backed token. A famous example is asset-backed token or Aspen coin. Is the conversion or tokenizations of a luxury hotel, St. Regis Aspen Resort in the US. So St. Regis Aspen Resort property itself, it's a world-class year-round destinations resort where, you know, everyone can project its some sort of steady income. So St. Regis Aspen was tokenized and offered as token called Aspen Coin. It's raised funding from investor and token holder to about 80 million US dollar. So Aspen Coin is basically real estate backed token, real estate backed securities token in terms of other jurisdiction regulation. Okay, so when the property was tokenized, it's actually was offered in accordance with the regulations of the US, Regulation D, and I think the yield for Aspen Coin was about 5%, and in addition to the income generated by the hotel itself, there's also utilities features within the Aspen Coin as well, meaning that, you know, the holder of Aspen Coin will enjoy cash back if they stay at the hotel. For example, the holder between, you know, 10,000 to 10,000 coin will enjoy 20% cash back, and the holder of 100,000 coin will enjoy 35% cash back, and the holder of 500,000 token will enjoy 50% cash back if they stay at the Aspen resorts. So this is an example of digital security or investment token from other country. So this is an example from Thailand. So actually this is the first SEC regulated real estate backed token in Thailand, Sirihub token, which Bakers also help represent the issuer as, you know, legal counsel of the issuers, as well as ICO portal. So the underlying asset of Sirihub token is Siri Campus, or the head office of Sansiri. So because of the single tenant, you know, features, Sirihub token has steady cash flow generated from long-term lease agreement with Sansiri. Sirihub token, as I mentioned, is a digital investment token issued under the Digital Asset Decree and offer in the primary market by Xspring Digital, being the ICO portal approved by the SEC. And the Sirihub token was listed, secondary listed on ERX, a licensed digital asset exchange in Thailand as well. So there are two tranches of Sirihub. One is Sirihub A, and another is Sirihub B. The token is built on Tezos blockchain, and the enforcement of contract and regulations and rights are through smart contracts. So if you heard about Sirihub token, basically Sirihub token A will enjoy quarterly revenue of 4.5% per annum, while Sirihub token B will enjoy about 8% per annum. Sirihub token A will also receive distributions of net asset sale proceeds at the end of the token life, meaning that at the end of the token, the issuer will sell the property and then share the net asset sale proceed with Sirihub token A. But the maximum of proceed that Sirihub token A will have is capped at 1,600 million baht. For Sirihub token B, they will be entitled to the net proceed that it's over 1,600 million baht, meaning that, you know, Sirihub token B has more risks, but enjoy upside if the property can be sold at the end of the token life higher than 1.6 billion baht, basically. So that's it for me for my presentations about law relating to digital asset and securities, equity security. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Streetif, for the insightful session. I hope you all enjoyed the presentation. Let me remind everyone once again that if you have any question, feel free to type them into the chat box. Now, I will read some of the questions that were sent to us during the presentation. For the first question, can you compare tax on property fund versus asset token in Thailand?
Yes. Okay. I'm not a tax advisor, but actually, for the moment, tax for REITs is actually better than the real estate backed token because REIT being conventional securities, actually the holder will enjoy the benefit of tax exemptions in terms of capital gains, whereas, you know, ICO or digital asset being digital asset and the tax framework is unclear, so it might the capital gain, so the sale of the real estate backed token might be subject to capital gain tax as well as value added tax.
Thank you for the answer, Mrs. Streetif.
Yeah, let me just add, but actually I understand that the revenue department is actually exploring the tax scheme and the tax ruling for digital token as well. So I think like in the next few months, we will have a clear pictures in terms of tax implications or consequence from digital token.
Thank you so much for the answer. That was a very insightful answer. For the next question, do you have any insight on KBank NFT marketplace? How did they surpass the SEC ban on the NFT marketplace?
Yes, that's why I said that the SEC must have a better perspective toward NFT because they just announced, you know, the ban from NFT being listed in regulated digital exchange in Thailand, I think in May, and then after that, Coral of KBank is actually launching this project. So I don't have an actual insight, but I understand that these ban or these restrictions should be amended soon. Or they might do an NFT without secondary market. It's not that NFT is completely banned, but it's just banned from being listed on the digital asset exchange in Thailand at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you so much once again for the answer. And for the next question, can you tell us a bit more on the case that you have been working on about the ICO in Sirihub case? As an attorney, how much can we provide our client on the help in the legal aspect?
Actually, this project I've been working for like a few years. Actually, since 2018 when the digital asset decree was enacted, but because back then there was no clear regulations, and you know, so we worked together with the client to structure transactions where investor enjoy protection, same as REITs. But because some of you might know that, you know, in Thailand, trust is not a recognized concept in Thailand. So it must be trust that established under a capital market transaction trust only. So before the SEC amend the regulation, actually we cannot put the asset or the property in trust at all. So basically, the token holder will not have the benefit of the asset being held on trust, being held by someone who is a licensed professional operator. So we work together with the SEC to structure this and to, you know, discuss with them, you know, for them to understand and for them to be okay with the concept of asset-backed token, real estate-backed token, that, you know, that the token have the same standard as REIT, and we not, you know, bypassing REIT's requirement at all.
Thank you, Ms. Tritip, once again for the answer. It was a very insightful answer. For the next question, could you please explain more about the link between Security Exchange Act and the Emergency Decree Act, especially on the Emergency Decree on digital asset businesses?
Okay, so actually for the moment, I would say in the digital asset decree, it said that the digital asset is not a securities, whereas the conventional securities are mainly regulated by the Securities and Exchange Act. I mean, if one thing is a security, it will be governed by the SEC Act, in short. And if the instrument is fall within the definition of digital asset, it will be regulated or under the digital asset decree, as well, same as business operator at the moment. So business operator for the conventional securities will be governed by the SEC Act, and digital asset business operators will be governed and regulated by the digital asset decree.
For the next question, Mrs. Tritip, JMart launched JFinCoin a few years ago and was fully taxed as revenue, so they end up paying several $100 million in tax. Is this still the case for another ICO today?
Well, as I said, because Baker has also been working with the Revenue Department and the SEC as well, just to gather confirmations and clear, you know, pictures in terms of tax implications from digital token. But I understand that, you know, before we have a conclusions or another amendment from the Revenue Department, I think the Revenue Department view the digital asset as basically a representations of goods or services, and then therefore subject to value-added tax. Even though, you know, say investment token, the feature or the natures of investment tokens itself is actually similar to securities. So actually in you know, other jurisdiction, digital asset investment token, for example, is actually securities under the law of other jurisdictions. But Thailand, we separate investment token and, you know, being digital asset and securities with conventional securities. So, but you know, they have the same features. So we say it's actually not. It actually should not be perceived as you know, coin that representing goods, or when you sell coin, it should not be perceived as sellings of goods or products, basically. But yeah, but we still need to wait for the final verdict from the revenue department on the investment tokens.
Thank you so much for the answer. And for the next question, do you think it is possible for the digital assets to be used as a claim under the Business Security Act, or it is subject to the Special Act only?